running joke about how the Sims team keeps dropping things or like announcing things when I'm busy. You know, for example, last year, Cottage Living came out while I was in the UK helping Dan move to America. That update for story progression came out like 2 weeks ago when I was literally on the plane coming back from doing a panel at South by Southwest with the CEO of St. Jude. It's just kind of funny how like I don't get out much, and when I do, these giant things keep happening. So I'll make these jokes like, oh, watch, when I move, they're gonna announce The Sims 5 or, you know, whatever. Well, anyway, it happened again yesterday. It wasn't quite so big though, it was just an SDX drop. But yesterday, Dan and I had his green card interview, which is arguably one of the more important things I've done in literally years. We've been in this immigration process for like 2 years now, and yesterday was like the big day, the green card interview, where we had to go and like prove that we're in a relationship to them again so that he could get permanent residency status. It's like a whole thing. Anyway, it's over now. It's done. We're good. But like while I'm sitting at the USCIS offices, I check Twitter and there's an SDX drop. On a Wednesday? When do you drop things on Wednesdays? You know, back in my day, we only had announcements and drops on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and sometimes an expansion pack on a Friday. They don't do things on Wednesdays. Like we had a kit on a Monday recently. We got these SDX drops on Wednesdays. They've changed everything. I don't like change. That's scary. I'm not used to this. We sort of had like a rhythm going here, you know? We could expect patches on Tuesday, but no, not anymore. Everything is different now. Anyway, the SDX drop wasn't like huge, but I'm gonna show you it anyway. I think we got a new hair and a new scenario, and that might be it, but we'll check. I always like to do these videos because I feel like it's kind of hard to tell what's new if someone doesn't tell you, so I'm gonna tell you if the game would load. Oh, we're gonna have to load it twice. I'm gonna load into it. It's gonna be like, new SDX drop is here. Reload the game to see it, and then I'll have to open it again. Sims delivery incoming. The Sims 4 is downloading new content in the background. Check game options to see its status. There will be another notification when the download is complete. Yeah, there will be. Okay, and it looks like they actually did put the new scenario on the homepage, which I'm glad they did, because one of my biggest pet peeves about SDX drops, and I say it in every video about them, is that they don't tell you what comes in them. They just say there's a new SDX drop and there's no indication in game like what it's gonna be. Oh, the scenario's not there anymore. Okay, I guess they must switch between some of them. This is another like limited time scenario, so I suppose that makes sense. But anyway, the new scenario is this plant a sim scenario. What mysteries does the forbidden fruit hold? Have a taste to start living the plant sim life. And it says a sim has recently acquired the mysterious forbidden fruit of the plant sim. What harm could come from taking a bite or two? It's not like you're gonna magically turn green, sprout leaves, and begin your life as a plant sim. Can the sim reach their best plant self before time and the fruits run out? Or will they realize that the plain old sim life is their true calling? And I guess the outcome is that you complete all your goals while living the plant sim life. Now, this might be weird if you haven't heard of plant sims before, so maybe I should give you some background. So back in the day, they tried out some of these like temporary challenges in The Sims 4. They were kind of like scenarios, but they didn't have the whole scenario like UI built out for them. For example, they had like a skill building boost weekend where like for a real life weekend, you got double skill gain in The Sims 4. They did some holiday ones, like there was an Easter thing where you had to collect a bunch of eggs, and then once you finished the collection, you got this like stuffed bunny. They also had this sim called Jasmine Holiday for it. She was iconic. I miss her every day, and she would be like, hey, do you want to do the Easter egg challenge? They also had a plant sim challenge. And in the plant sim one, I think you had to collect like magic beans to fill in a tree stump. You would like call Jasmine and ask for the stump, and then you would fill in the beans. I don't know. It was kind of weird. Like the scenarios are definitely a lot better than that, but I do miss Jasmine. So all of that to say, plant sims aren't exactly new. Like we had this a few years ago. It's like a weird temporary life state, and they've always been in the game. It's not like a real occult state, and they also haven't done anything else with them until now, so I guess I'm kind of glad they're bringing it back. Will you please bring back Jasmine next? I am literally begging you. I think I might just make a new household. I want to get Jasmine Holiday off the gallery, but it won't load. Okay, this was Jasmine. She always wore this cute outfit, but they would give like special patches on the back of her blazer for whatever the event was. Like this was the plant sim one. I'm pretty sure she had like an Easter egg one too. I'm telling you, she's iconic and I want her back. If they put Jasmine Holiday as like a townie in one of the new worlds, oh, I would die. I love her. I feel like it's kind of a niche reference. Like if you didn't play The Sims 4 in like 2017, 2018, you wouldn't know. And even if you did, you might also still not know. But in my opinion, she is one of, if not the best townie ever made for The Sims 4. So, okay, there is also a new hair in this SDX drop, so I want to try and find it really fast. There it is. Okay, not very hard to find. It's colorful, so that helps. I have some thoughts about this hair. I will say I love the cut of this. Like I think this is a great hairstyle. It's very trendy to have like the middle part and everything. This haircut is very cute. I also like the idea of the dye. It's kind of interesting. We don't really have anything like this dye-wise. The swatches are really cool. Like there's some really fun ones. I think this one kind of works for Jasmine actually. It matches her outfit really well. But I want to go through all of them really quickly. I also love that one. There's a couple more normal ones. Like in this one, you kind of just have roots. We got this one. The red one also kind of has roots. I like that. I'm not sure about this one so much. I'm also not sure about this one. I like the blonde. I like all the pink that they do. I do like this one a lot as well. I don't know why. I don't usually like the cheese hair swatch, but this one has good vibes. Anyway, they're all pretty interesting. This pink one is probably my favorite. We have this one. We got this one, this one, this. You know what? We have so many hair swatches now. Anyway, they're all pretty cute. The thing is, there's not a plain swatch of this. Like we only have the dyed version, and I like the dyed version. It's definitely different than like anything we have right now, and that's fun. Like I appreciate that, but I wish they had done a solid version and the dyed version. They also have this hair for toddlers and children, but the thing is, it's dyed, and it's kind of a fun option to have, but like, let's be realistic, okay? How many of us are dyeing our toddlers' roots? Probably not that often, right? So I wish that we had gotten like the dyed version and the regular version, because for me personally, I will probably never use this hair. At least not for the little ones. If it was solid color, I probably would, but I guess maybe I would use it for the Not So Berry challenge, where like I try to have each generation be a different color theme. Like Gen 1 is mint, so this hair might work pretty well for that. But I also just don't love how this hair looks on toddlers. Like I think it kind of fits their head a little bit weird. So I don't know. I appreciate them making it for all ages, but I do wish we had a solid color version. I think I have this issue with a lot of the toddler hairs in this game. It's weird because on one hand, I love them doing this. Like I love when they convert the adult hairs for the kids, because we don't have a lot of hairs for kids. So I'll take like any extra I can get. But also a lot of the adult hairs look kind of weird on toddlers. I mean, you can kind of tell with this one, it sort of like sits on her head weird. And also a lot of them are just really long. Like for example, this hair, this looks like an adult's hairstyle on a 2-year-old's head. I feel that way even more so about this hair from Cottage Living. It like kind of sits weird on the back of their head. You can see like a weird dent right there. And it's just so much hair. Like obviously some kids have a lot of hair, but I think most kids that are like 1-2 years old do not have hair this long. And so I wish they gave us like some more proper like actual toddler hairstyles. Things like these from the toddler pack. These are both base game hairs now, but like that's what I'm looking for. I want more like little kid hairs, you know? Give me more pigtails. That's what I want to see. I think this hair is a good example of an adult hair that converts well to toddlers. This is from Cottage Living. It looks super cute on adult Sims, but it also looks really good on this toddler. And then I think this one from Paranormal is an example of one that doesn't really work that well, because you can see it sort of sits on her shoulders weird. I don't know. I wish that we had like some longer hairs that were actually made for toddlers, because then they probably wouldn't have that same issue. Anyway, I like the new hair. I really appreciate them doing this. Like we also had these two hairs as SDX drops kind of recently as well. It's just nice to have them adding free hair for no reason. Like they just added this to your game on a random Wednesday and they were like, hey, here's a cool new hairstyle. I'll take it. I just would also take more variants of it next time, you know? Thank you, Sims team, though. We love you. Okay, I'm gonna go and test out this plant sim business with Jasmine. If it's fun, I might make an entire video on it. Right now, I just want to see what it's like. Oh, this is really interesting. This is way different than most of the other scenarios that we've had. It's got like some proper requirements you have to do. Eat the forbidden fruit of the plant sim from your inventory, talk to plants, harvest plants, satisfy your water needs, absorb solar energy from plants. Absorbing solar energy from a plant is a great way to fill hunger on cloudy days while you're a plant sim. However, each interaction will make that plant smaller. Be careful. Interesting. Have your plant sim head out on a sunny day to start converting light and water into food. Remember to stay hydrated and also care for plants as a plant sim. This is really fun. So we do have 5 forbidden fruits of plant sims, and they also gave us some starter vegetables to begin with. And I'm wilting from not being oh, hello. I'm a plant. A plant sim has sprouted. Jasmine ate the forbidden fruit. Okay, don't panic. It'll be all right. Just try and act natural. No, really, natural like a plant. Drink lots of water and stay in the sun, and she will flourish and photosynthesize, which will replenish her hunger. Keep in mind that as a plant sim, she won't need to eat regular food. Thankfully, that also means she won't have to go to the bathroom either. So we have a water need now where we have to swim, shower, drink glasses of water. Our hunger need makes us like stand in the sun to photosynthesize. I've got an energized moodlet from photosynthesizing, and I've got a 5-day plant sim moodlet. So it sounds like you have 5 days to finish all of this stuff. This is pretty cool. I'm so glad they brought the plant sims back, because I don't know about you, but I think most of you probably didn't know that you could do this. They kind of like made it a few years ago for that temporary challenge and then dropped it. Now, obviously, a plant sim is just like a sim that is green with short hair. They don't have like any special thing going on. So I wouldn't really consider them to be like one of the actual occults, because when you compare this to like vampires, you can't really do that. You can't really compare those things. But it is a cute idea, and it's definitely a fun way to play the game that's probably different from how you've done it before. And I think that's like the best part of scenarios, how it can encourage you to try different things. There are just so many parts of The Sims 4 that I think most people have never played with or never seen. And I like that the scenarios are kind of trying to give people like a push to branch out and do different things. Oh my gosh, I'm low on water already? Oh, it's bad. I could die. How fast does it go away? What the heck? Take a shower. Take a shower. Okay, that fixes it. All right, that's good to know. Oh, I just had leaves on my arm and everything. That's kind of cute. Look at me. She's really enjoying the sun, I'll tell you that. You know what? I wonder what would happen if you tried to have a vampire do this. I bet you probably can't, because you can't double up on occults. Like, you can't have a vampire be a spellcaster, so you probably can't have a vampire be a plant sim, but that would be funny if they had to like photosynthesize, but they also can't go in the sun because they're a vampire. Anyway, this challenge is base game, and it's available in a free update as of yesterday for literally everyone, and it looked like it was a permanent one, not a temporary scenario. So I'm so glad they did this. I think this is one of my favorite scenarios they've added like ever out of all of them. It's a cool concept. It brings back like a cool old thing from back in the day. It adds some really interesting new gameplay to people for free, and it gives me a chance to talk about Jasmine Holiday. So in my opinion, this is a win. If you like videos like these, like Sims update, Sims news kind of videos, I always make them. Usually on the day of the update, except not when I have green card interviews with the government, because I was a bit busy yesterday. So sorry the video is late. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And with that being said, I will catch you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. I'm curious, what's your favorite occult sim? Like vampires, mermaids, spellcasters, plant sims, ghosts maybe? I don't know. Tell me in the comments. I won't lie, I quite like ghosts, but I think that vampires and spellcasters are objectively better.